Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about what abilities I would give to Captain America and Thor if they got into the game. Them being two, very well-known Marvel characters who I'm guessing will join the game, or who will be added to Marvel Rivals pretty soon after its release. First up is Captain America, a 900 HP tank whose passive, I can do this all day, helps him generate ultimate charge quicker when he's on lower health. His left click, he just swings his shield in front of him and hits people, and if he doesn't have his shield, he just punches them. And his right click is a passive called block, and basically it's just, as long as you're holding right click, you can't use any of your other abilities other than sprint, but you enter a blocking stance where you and nearby allies take reduced damage. Then we come to his only ability with a cooldown, which is his shield throw, where he just chucks his shield and it will ricochet 2 times before coming back to you. And while it's gone, you can't block. His left shift is controlled by meter, and basically you hold down left shift to sprint, where you just move quicker, and then when your meter runs out, you just can't sprint until it starts filling up again. And if you hold down left shift and right click at the same time, you kind of enter a charging state where you'll not do knockback and damage to any enemies that you run into. His ultimate Avengers Assemble, it's a team buff to you and all of your allies nearby, increasing speed, decreasing cooldowns, and decreasing damage done to you for its duration, which I just think is kind of not what Captain America embodies, but I think it's a great ability for him. In terms of team-up abilities, if you click C, it would just lock him into his block stance to show he was ready, and then either Captain America or Thor could activate their team-up abilities with him. So Iron Man and Thor, so with Thor's we'll get to that later. With Iron Man would basically shoot a unibeam at Cap, and then Cap would just be able to deflect it and aim it where he wanted to go. Now for Thor, who is another 900 HP tank, whose left click is where they attack their opponent with their weapon. And then if they don't have their weapon, they instead just punch their opponent. And then his right click hammer throw is easy to explain but kind of difficult phrase in terms of he throws the hammer, it destroys terrain and hurts enemies when it hits, and only stops once it reaches its range or hits an indestructible terrain where it just falls to the ground. And then when you can click again to recall it, or it comes back if it would fall off the map, and then on its way back it hurts anyone it goes through. And then once it comes back to your hand, a 5-second cooldown timer starts. His E has a 10-second cooldown and causes you to gain shield health, if you have Mjolnir, you stand down in front of you and deal AoE, and a lightning strike happens and it does AoE damage. And then if you don't have Mjolnir, you're struck by lightning, but then your primary fire is just enhanced for a few seconds and deals extra damage. His left shift is very simple, and if you have Mjolnir, you can only use it with Mjolnir, 7-second cooldown, and then you just basically fly through the air with Mjolnir, and kind of a vortex of wind happens around you, which all it does is just knockbacks and knocks enemies near you back. And then there's just a short burst for a bit of added mobility and control. When he uses his ultimate, the Bifrost, he summons Bifrost and it strikes down and pulls them into the sky essentially, and then it channels for a few seconds and nearby allies can jump in, so they will also get transported. And then you just get to choose you get to kind of go around the map, not literally, but your camera gets to go around the map so you can target a spot to land. And when you land, you do a high damage shockwave, and then from you and your nearby allies you have do more damage. So basically think of that scene in Infinity War when him and Rocket and Groot arrive in Wakanda. Finally is his aforementioned team-up ability with Cap, where he just jumps and slams Mjolnir down onto Cap's shield, which does a high damage shockwave, and then locks it locks the abilities of the enemies which are hit for about a second. So it's great disruption and just high damage attack. If you made it this far, thanks for listening, and consider hitting subscribe, or at least just making sure to check for updates to this playlist. The playlist should be linked in the description, as I will be doing these videos quite regularly. My next video on this will be Wolverine and Nightcrawler, and then I've got quite a few lined up after that, but comment anyone you'd like to see in the comments beneath, and I'll probably get around to them eventually. Ta-ta.